What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Today, man, I know it's late, but this is Wrestlemania weekend, a weekend we've been looking forward to all year, right? And my last video was kind of polarizing. Got some positive, got some negative reactions from some. I think a lot of people were missing what I was saying and what I was picking up from the last video. So let me make this clear, okay? From my last video, I'm not saying WrestleMania is not going to be a great show. It seems like a lot of people are misdetermining what I'm saying. I'm saying the build was very lacking and very underwhelming to get to this point. Every match, for the majority, has not been built well or built to the best of the ability, right? Even the people want to say the Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins triple threat match. Okay, it's been built, it's been brewing since maybe War Games, right? But in the final build, most of these guys weren't even on all the shows. You'll have either CM Punk and Rollins on one week, Reigns and Punk the next week, then Rollins by himself, then Punk by himself, then Roman and Seth, and like you only probably had interactions with all three of these guys in one ring probably 3 times out of the possible 7-8 weeks of this build, right? Since WrestleMania, since the Royal Rumble. And well, let me not even say since the Royal Rumble, since the Chamber, okay? So that's what I mean when I'm saying like this card has been lackluster in terms of the build. But maybe it goes over people's heads. I don't know. I'm not here to change anyone's opinion or nothing like that. You think what you think, and it is what it is. So let's get into the reason why we're making this video today. WrestleMania 41 predictions for both Saturday night and Sunday night. We have, I think, 7 matches on Saturday night, if I believe. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As of right now, SmackDown will drop on tonight, so maybe they're going to add more. And as of Sunday, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I don't think Randy Orton's going to be left out of this card at the moment, right? He's definitely going to have a match at Mania for sure. Hopefully it's not against Solo, but we got to check in tonight to see. All right, let's get this underway. WrestleMania Saturday. Let's start with Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. A match I don't really give 2 shits about, honestly. I guess it's a way to get Chad Gable on the WrestleMania card and have a one-on-one match. Okay, he should have had one against Gunther last year, but they gave it to Sammy. He had the better story than Sammy, but it is what it is. Don't really care for this match. This match can be on a smaller pay-per-view, but out of respect to Rey Mysterio is on the WrestleMania card. So I am going to be taking WWE typically like to do like funny spots. Chad Gable was even in one, I think, at WrestleMania 38 when he got German suplexed by the dude. What's it? Gable Stevenson, whatever his name is. He even got played like a fiddle against him. So I wouldn't be surprised if WWE have Rey Mysterio win this match and then unmask it to finally beat Chad Gable. So I'm going to take Rey Mysterio in this matchup because I think WWE like to have that comedy factor when it comes to these sort of things. So I am going to take Rey Mysterio in the first matchup. Next matchup, we have the World Tag Team title match, the War Raiders taking on a New Day. This match shouldn't really be on WrestleMania, honestly. If it's a Tag Team Championship match that should be there, it should be the Street Profits defending against Motor City Machine Guns, right? Because they've been featured way more than the Tag Team Championships on Raw. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships have been featured a whole lot since pretty much Triple H introduced the new title belts. Whether you want to go with A-Town Down Under and whoever else, DIY, Motor City Machine Gun, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, whoever, you name it, right? So they've been featured, like even the Bloodline held them. So they've been featured a lot as opposed to the Raw Tag Team Championships who were held by the Judgment Day, then the War Raiders, and that's really been it. So this matchup, I think, is pretty simple. Got to go New Day. They are the more tenured team, right? Well, I am going to say tenured team. They just the more notable team, the more team to get reactions out of both of these teams involved. And you got to see what you got with this heel turn with these New Day. So Triple H did cool him off after the Big E turn back in December. So this is another way to put fire back on the flame, if you will. So I'm taking a New Day in this matchup. We have United States Championship matchup, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. This match is hard to, come to terms with and how to book, right, and predict, because I want Jacob Fatu to win. Me wanting him to win and will he win is two different things, right? LA Knight, he's been cool for a little while. I mean, he still get reactions here and there. But we've been there, done that with him at the U.S. champ, honestly. Depend on what Triple H do after Mania. You're going to get more people in the mid card because LA Knight's done beat everybody in the mid card. I'm sorry, he already has. And it's getting quite not interesting to watch as him as a U.S. champ because he's already beaten everybody and they have no challengers for him right now at the moment. Maybe the newly acquired Ray Phoenix, maybe Aleister Black, Rusev, who knows? We'll see. So we just have to wait until after Mania. So with that being said, now I'm going to have to change my pick. I'm going to have to take LA Knight with the predictable finish of the Bloodline getting involved and costing Jacob. And then we're going to go to Backlash where we get Solo versus Jacob. So I'm taking LA Knight in that one. Okay, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This match has been brewing since back before War Games when we find out who was the mystery assailant who pushed Jade on top of that car and took her out for months. We found out at Elimination Chamber and it turned out to be Naomi. Naomi and Jade have both been doing great work from a character standpoint, building up their Naomi's new heel persona with the caution, the backstage segments, the interview segments she's been doing. Same thing with Jade. They just had a banger at the backstage segment last week on SmackDown. So both women have been doing pretty well. I think for this story to keep on going and eventually probably get Bianca back involved in the fold, you have to go with Naomi here. So that's what I'm taking in this match. I'm taking Naomi with help from the Metaphor girls, Jakara Jackson, the Lash Legend. Help her pick up the win and she get her very first win in a singles match at WrestleMania over Jade Cargill to prolong the story. So that'd be my prediction for that. They could go the other route, but the other route don't make sense because Jade pretty much been given the upper hand on Naomi for them since Jade came back to the chamber outside of that one SmackDown where Naomi came out after the matchup. But I'm taking Naomi in this one. All right, next up we have the Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Now, I've been ragging about this match for the past couple weeks, especially on my video. This is one of the reasons I said this is the WrestleMania build that's lacking was this matchup. The build has not been great. The matchup we know is going to be fabulous between these two because they both have very similar backgrounds and Tiffany was literally compared to Charlotte as she was coming up to NXT. So their chemistry in ring is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be on the lines of Rhea versus Charlotte, but it don't need to be. It's going to be a very athletic endeavor between these two women. I'm going to take Charlotte Flair in this one. I always wanted to back Charlotte Flair. Once this matchup was proposed, I'm like, Charlotte Flair, it made sense for Charlotte to win this matchup because she can get closer to number 17, breaking her father's record. Yep. But she gets so much heat. It's better for her to be the champ and have someone chase her behind, right? So I'm taking Charlotte Flair in this one. She is going to become the new WWE Women's Champion after night one. All right. And for our next matchup, which is likely going to be kicking off Saturday night, WrestleMania, we have the World Heavyweight Championship match. The World Heavyweight Champion Gunther taking on main event Jey Uso. Now, everybody's been getting on Jey Uso's case, right? He only has 3 moves. He's not that great in the ring. When has you ever having to be great in the ring solidifies you as champ, right? As world champ. There's plenty of examples of people not being the greatest in the ring and they've been world champion. Jey Uso is over. I've stated this plenty of times. Jey Uso is over. The crowd is behind him, and he has momentum. He don't have to be the freshest thing since sliced bread in the ring. No one ever is, okay? So that notion, people need to just drop it. There have been some stumbles in this build as well, but with Jimmy getting bloody by Gunther, that took this feud to another notch. This feud has been building all the way up. Probably for like the last couple months, Gunther beat Jey probably 3 or 4 times, right? He beat him at Saturday Night's Main Event. I think he beat him in the King of the Ring tournament, right? And then he beat him to defend his championship. It might have been at Backlash or something like that. Backlash France, if I believe. So Gunther has gotten the upper hand on Jay from the very start. And this story has been building up until this point at WrestleMania. It's tailor-made. The underdog from the underground. And we all seen it. And there's no problem with Jey Uso winning a world championship. So I'm taking Jey Uso to become the new world heavyweight champion at WrestleMania and defeating Gunther. Because if he don't, then at this point, what can he do, man? Right? So I'm taking Gunther. I'm taking Jey Uso over Gunther. All right. Now for our main event for Saturday night, we have the triple threat with Paul Heyman hanging in a shark cage. No, I'm just kidding. We have Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk with the wise man Paul Heyman at his side. This match has been pretty much brewing since War Games, when Paul Heyman brought in CM Punk to help his tribal chief overtake the new bloodline and pretty much get his Ula father back. That's what started everything back to Roman being on top of the Anoa'i family. But Seth Rollins was included because he was the first person Roman's very own OG bloodline asked to be a part of that match to help Roman. But Seth Rollins said under no circumstances will he stand side by side with Roman Reigns ever again. And we get to the Royal Rumble. Both Reigns and Punk have been eliminated, and Seth Rollins attacks both of them. We know Seth Rollins don't have love lost for CM Punk. We know how deep that issue goes. Pretty much this issue goes deep with all three of these guys. They've been together for a very long time. CM Punk introduced these guys into the WWE as the Shield, as we know back in the day. So these three guys have intertwined a lot. With the build recently, it's been okay. But the story overall is a firestorm, and it's great. So, with that being said, the person who's going to have their hand raised at the end of the night at WrestleMania Saturday night, it's got to be Seth Rollins, man. It has to be Rollins because it only makes sense. Rollins lost to CM Punk, right? He only won against CM Punk in steel cage because Roman came out there and grabbed him. So can't really count that as a victory, right? You can say they're 1-1 in their matchups, but they're not. He hasn't had a clean pinfall victory over CM Punk. He gets that at WrestleMania Saturday night to get his validation as the crown jewel of the industry, as he said on Monday Night Raw. It don't make sense for Roman to win this match because he's going to have storylines after the fact. The person who wins this match needs to have some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like something that they can brag about, something they can hang their mantle on, right? CM Punk doesn't need it. He's going to get a match out of just losing. Roman Reigns doesn't need it. He can build a story organically. The only person that need that is Seth Rollins. Because the person after this who win this match got to go straight to the championship, whatever brand they on. It only made sense. These are three huge superstars on the WWE roster. So the guy who wins this matchup, he has to go straight to the championship. And that guy I'm picking to be Seth Rollins. So we'll see. My close second is Roman, though. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm taking Seth Rollins. And that concludes WrestleMania Saturday night. Now, let's head to WrestleMania Sunday night. We have 6 matches as of today, as of right now, before SmackDown comes on. Let's start. We have AJ Styles taking on Logan Paul. This match just came together just like any old match. So, AJ Styles hasn't won a WrestleMania one-on-one match maybe since, did he beat Randy Orton with it at 35? Right? Because he lost last year against LA Knight. He lost the year before. No, he missed 39 because he got hurt. He lost at 38 to Edge. 37. Was he even at 37? I don't even remember him being at 37. No, I think he might have been at 37. So he won the tag team match at 37 with Omos, right? They won the tag team championships. So he hadn't won a one-on-one singles match maybe since he beat Randy Orton at 35. And that's Kofi Mania. That's like 2019, 2018. So it's been a long time since AJ Styles won a WrestleMania match one-on-one. Logan Paul last year beat both Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in the triple threat match to retain his U.S. championship. The year before that, he lost to Seth Rollins. The year before that, he beat Ray and Dominic. So by him being successful last year, I'm taking AJ Styles in this one over Logan Paul, because Logan Paul is not going to beat her for as long as AJ Styles is going to beat her. After WrestleMania, you probably won't see Paul until the next overseas pay-per-view, probably. So I'm taking AJ Styles in that one. All right, next up we have the WWE Women's Tag Team title matchup. We have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez up to Judgment Day defending their tag team championships against Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champ, and Bayley, the role model. This match came together after Lyra and Bayley have both won a tag team gauntlet on SmackDown last week, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeated Bianca and Naomi for the tag team championships on Monday Night Raw on February 26th. Liv Morgan has been awesome with this heel run she has been doing for the past year. With Raquel on her side, they get more TV time for real than Lyra and Bayley. So it only made sense here to go with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Lyra and Bayley is not going to win this tag team championship because that would negate the fact of Lyra being Intercontinental Champion at this point. Lyra defeated Bayley last week on Raw to retain her championship, and they've been having issues. I ain't gonna say they really having issues, but Bayley showed some sort of issue with Lyra after that. So I don't think these two are going to be on the same page. They're going to hit a lot of moves, but ultimately, I'm taking Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to retain their championships over Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker defending his Intercontinental Championship against Finn Balor of the Judgment Day versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day. All right, man, I've heard a lot recently of Dominic winning this matchup, and I do not disagree with that. Just because WWE like to do these things, right? They like to give and credit to Dominic here, okay? He's had the most heat of anybody this year. He has done tremendous character work over the past year. Turning on Rhea at SummerSlam, turning on Priest, everything involved, right? He has done tremendous work and getting with Liv. So we've seen WWE do this thing in the past where they just give you the shock win at WrestleMania. They did it last year with R-Truth and The Miz winning the tag team championships for Raw, just to have R-Truth win the championship at WrestleMania. So we can't rule the possibility out of Dominic winning the winning the Intercontinental Championship, and carrying it to where? That's my problem. My only issue is what do you do after WrestleMania with him as the IC Championship? Do you build a story with him and Finn Balor going after it and breaking up the Judgment Day? That's one way you can go with it, and that's probably the for sure direction they do go with it. So it may be Dominic, but let's make a case for everybody. Penta, he's been on fire since he came in WWE in January, and he made it clear that he wanted to go for the IC Championship. I think Penta could put this IC Championship on the map for sure. So Penta is he's up there, top 2 for me. Nothing else need to be said about Penta. Finn Balor, he might be on a bottom tier because Balor ain't won nothing in so long, bro. It's been a while since he won something. And they probably waiting for JD to get back, which he should be after WrestleMania. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a mistake somewhere where Dominic and Finn argue and bicker, and then somebody pick up the win. Braun Breaker do not need the championship. He already carried it in here. I think he superseded the IC strap. It's time for him to go up to the main scene and face those main guys like Rollins, Punk, etc. So I think Braun Breaker will be losing this matchup for sure. But I am going to be taking. I'm going to take Penta, but I know everybody's going to go Dominic. I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go with Penta to win the IC strap. Next up, we have the Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and possibly what is the best matchup on the card. I ain't going to say the best matchup, but a really good built matchup between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I like this match specifically for not just because it's a year long with WrestleMania, right? WrestleMania last year with Drew cashing in, or Damien cashing in on Drew. It goes a little bit farther than that. It goes back to the War Games match previous of that. That's why I like the story of this matchup. It goes way back there when Drew first turned heel, and even him and Damian Priest was arguing over who's going to be the leader of that match. Y'all remember that back in War Games? So I like how far it's going. That's why I like this matchup. The story. Then you get to WrestleMania. Then you get to Money in the Bank. Then you get to Clash at the Castle. Now we're here. We get to the Rumble, the Chamber. Now we're here at WrestleMania. It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to kind of be like how Drew had that matchup with Gunther and Sheamus at 39. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. I'm taking Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre has to win this match, and he has to be in that World Championship scene. He has to be the first person to face Cody for that championship if he do win, if Cody do retain the championship. So I'm taking Drew McIntyre in this matchup. Next up, we have the women's triple threat for the World Championship. The champion Io Sky taking on Bianca Belair, taking on Rhea Ripley. I think Bianca and Rhea cancel themselves out. I made my feelings known how this match has been built up with Rhea complaining her way into this matchup. Now we here. They weren't going to leave Rhea Ripley off the card. We know that. But the way they went about it was really trash. But I'm going to take Io Sky in this matchup because she's been treated like the redheaded stepchild of this triple threat equation. Bianca still has unfinished business with both Naomi and Jade. We had to get that story to develop. So I don't see her winning the championship and being moved from SmackDown to Raw to carry that championship. I don't think that's happening. And Rhea, we already been there, done that. She just had the championship, lost it in March. So we've seen that. Let's let Io go into WrestleMania as champ this time and retain this time, as instead of just losing like she did last year to Bayley. So we know this match is going to be a great matchup for all women involved. But I'm going Io Sky for the win. And she pins Rhea Ripley yet again. And we get those two facing each other at Backlash. Now, let's get on to our main event. The undisputed WWE Championship match. The champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, taking on John Cena. I made my thoughts known about everything with John Cena's heel turn. The Shocker's heel, going to be the most replayed heel turn in the history of professional wrestling for decades and decades to come, with John Cena turning heel for the first time in 20 years on Cody Rhodes and Elimination Chamber and lining himself with The Rock. Now, I think this match is going to be a very good match. They're going to work it slow. These two guys know how to work a match, okay? It's going to be a very good match, okay? I don't think it'll be the best match on the card, but it's going to be a match where you get that WrestleMania ending like where a lot of people, a lot of pieces are involved in this situation. I love the John Cena heel turn. I love some of the reasons he stated why he turned heel. I just think they missed a major reason of The Rock in this whole equation. The man who wanted everything. He just held everything up here, man. And then for him to just vanish after the chamber and them saying no fucking reason why John Cena aligned with him. Just the issue for me. But this match is going to be good. Can't wait. Cody said he's going to have a little receipt coming for Travis Scott if he is there, which I think he will be. But with all that being said, this is tough, man. Because I want John Cena to win this match. Just because you can get so many more matches out of John Cena heel turn. But with John Cena's schedule, I don't know if you want a part-time champ. That's the only problem, because he's part-time, man. And you don't want him there for pay-per-view, then miss a pay-per-view. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then wait till SummerSlam. We have no champ until SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that's giving me reservations on picking him. But I am going to go ahead and take Cody Rhodes in this matchup to retain the WWE Undisputed Championship over Cena. Don't know where that leads Cena. Maybe he go out, him and Rock have a deal at SummerSlam. I don't know. Really don't want to see that, but I don't know where they can go, man. So we just have to tune in and watch and see. Tune in to SmackDown tonight because John Cena will be there tonight. We're going to see what he has to say and what he does. What his actions speak louder than words. We're going to see. All right. So that's going to do it for my WrestleMania 41 predictions. You guys enjoy the show. Have a good WrestleMania weekend. Enjoy the festivities of all things wrestling this weekend. NXT is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. WrestleMania. We have SmackDown tonight. Then we have the Hall of Fame tonight. And WrestleMania on Sunday. and then Monday Night Raw. So y'all take it easy, man. Peace out.